Welcome back to the channel, my friend. Yeah, I'm still dealing with the 2019 Street Glide. You can see I have a saddlebag off of it. We're gonna talk about that in just a second, but I keep going back and forth on this whole suspension deal and tire deal, and one ride will be great, the next ride will be crap, but I think I figured out why. So first, we're gonna take a look at the bike. I'm gonna show you what I'm trying and what I'm testing. Then we're gonna get on the bike and see how it feels. And I've realized that I haven't exactly shown you how to do this adjustment on the suspension preload for Suspension Technologies. I mentioned it, but I'm actually going to show you how it works. I'm not actually going to do it because I have it set the way I want right now, but this cup right here, yeah, this guy right here, you can see it says softer and stiffer. So you just grab this cup and rotate and it'll turn. And you want to get it lined up with the little screw there. And if you're OCD like me, you don't want the top cup to turn, so hold on to that while you spin the bottom cup. But what I have done is I backed it all the way to 0 again, so all the way to the softest setting, and then I put it back up to 4, where I was when I first got these new tires. Yeah, you can see the new tire there, yay. I think all the salt is gone. My road still has a bunch of debris on it. It's not a well-traveled road, but it is what it is. In fact, I come out here and I test with my boots. That's not bad. But if we move a few feet over, hopefully you heard the difference there. The debris wreaks havoc. I'm also not a fan of how low the bike sits now, because even as much as I like flat footing the bike now, it's hitting the transition flap on my trailer. Take a look. You can see several scrapes there, and that's from my Jiffy stand support or bracket or whatever the heck it's called, hitting the transition flap. Not ideal. Luckily the tape's there, so I don't have to like polish out the scratches, but that's aluminum. You scratch it enough, it's gonna like cut into your tires and stuff, I think. And I want to avoid that. So this suspension preload adjustment should keep it a little bit higher, and it does. So now it's time to get on a bike, let's ride.
Already, the bike feels great, and I know this because I tested it the other day. All right, here we go. Yep, we're gonna turn, lean the bike. Oh yeah, that feels good. Not super fast, not a super fast transition, but I did a test ride earlier in the week, and that worked out pretty good. I did like the feeling, and the feeling is what it comes down to, my friend, because I feel like this bike with the Suspension Technologies, if I could speak. Coffee. Look at this. We're gonna do this one-handed. I don't recommend this at home, but nice and easy, we're just cruising. This is kind of another confidence-building ride, but it's all about the feeling, right? So as I was saying before, so rudely interrupted by coffee, the bike felt twitchy with the preload at 3. And I may not have felt that because it was like 38, 40 degrees out. It was cold when I was doing my first rides on these new tires. And it takes the oil and stuff time to warm up inside the suspension. And so it really gave an unnerving feeling when I would ride and it would feel good. And then the next ride, it would feel like crap. And the temperatures are all over the place. And as you can see, there's not any residue of salt anymore. Yay! It is early to mid-March. I don't know the date. I never know the date hardly. But I was talking to a friend of mine, Patrick, Moto Ramblings, and while I was talking to him, I realized I have felt this sensation before. And it was a couple years ago when my stock shocks, the preload was reset by a tech from 8 to 0. So what that left me with was a bike that felt a little squirrely. And now I was feeling that same thing. I said, I wonder what it is. Now we're gonna ease through the corner. Look at that. We lean over pretty good. We still have good road feel. I still have good control of the bike, but it's not as tense. It's not as twitchy. It doesn't want to change direction on a whim. We'll get back to that in a second. But I was talking to Patrick. I said, look, I've got this same feeling. Wait, I bet there's a video where I talk about it. And there was. If I can find it again, I'll link it up here. And I went back and I watched that video and I was like, yes, that is exactly what I'm feeling now. So how do we fix that? Well, in that video, I upped the preload. Not making the suspension stiffer per se, because you can't change stiffness, but you can change, come on! You can change what it, how it is already preloaded for a weight. I changed this suspension. I didn't do a measurement on sag before I did the change, but I did afterwards. I got my wife, this is Road Reality, to help me. I said, honey, I need you to measure from the middle of this bolt to the middle of that bolt in like 3 scenarios. So she did. Thank you very much, honey. So with me lifting up on the saddlebag guard on one side with the bike on the kickstand, or chippy stand, if you will, it was at 11 3/4. When I set the bike back down, it was at 11 5/8. And then when I got on the bike with the suspension preload set to 4, yeah, I put the saddlebag back on. It now sat at 11 1/8. So I got a 1/2 inch of sag. So logic dictates that I had more sag before and I have less sag now. Sag's where it's at, and I know you keyboard commandos are gonna get dirty with it, so go ahead. I'll block your comments. Oh yeah, I've only been riding for like 10 minutes. This already feels much more akin to what I was used to before the Suspension Technologies was installed and the new tires were installed, but also without the harsh bumps. And I just realized that I said I'd get back to something, and I don't think I will. They should get back to using their turn signals. They cut out in front of me earlier when I wasn't recording, but whatever. Oh yeah. The steering is more direct, but it's not instantaneous and preternatural. Is that the right word? Leave a comment below. Did I use a big word? It's hard to put into words. It just feels good. It feels like it should. Whereas before, it felt like I would breathe on the handlebars, or the bike would get a side wind and I'd be like, whoop, changing lanes. And I didn't like that feeling. I like the smoothness of this new suspension. I like the cushiness, kind of. It's not exactly cushy, but it's not super firm either. It's just comfortable. It felt weird, and now it no longer feels weird. And this is the second ride like this. Now, one of the things that clued me into this was actually riding to work with my laptop bag and the tour pack behind me. It's an extra 20, 25 pounds between coffee and lunch and laptop. So what I was left with was wondering, what the heck is the difference? And the difference is that 25 pounds. I weighed myself today. I'm about the same weight as I was 3-4 months ago when I got all this changes begun, right? When I got words, John, words. But really, I haven't gained any weight. I haven't. And I thought that was for sure it, but it's just the weight in the tour pack, and it caused a little too much extra sag. And some research I did shows that if you have too much sag, your rear end can move around. I know what you're thinking. I got enough junk in my trunk already. So that's kind of, those couple of things clued me in that my preload needed to be increased so that the suspension wasn't allowing the rear tire to move as much, which we'll talk about on the next road. Oh yeah. Oh, that felt good. Little rear brake, little friction zone, and a 15-mile-an-hour intersection right turn, followed by an upshift. And all that left me with, and I already lost my train of thought. Dagnabbit. So the preload, it just needed to go up to handle the extra weight. And I don't know how the physics on it exactly works, but what it means is it's raising the bike up a little bit and not allowing that rear tire to move so much. And because it's more solidly held in place, things like higher speed corners where you're leaned over further, like I've experienced on the highway, they're no longer jarring or sketchy feeling. Because I like to ride at a relaxed pace, if you will. I'm not a speed demon. I'm not a hard leaner. I just like to enjoy my cruise. And this has to be fun. And honestly, I have been on the fence about getting a trike or giving up motorcycling altogether. But I love having my knees and face in the wind, you know, whatever gets beyond the giant fairing here. Hey, let's go through these corners. Yeah. Oh yeah, lean over the bike. Boom. Look at that. Feels good. Trust the bike. Get the corner going. Nice relaxed pace. Just, why did recording stop? Gotta pull over. My Hero 10 just died on me. What the hell? Hopefully the Hero 12 is still working, because I'm leaned over in this corner pretty good, looking through the corner, which should be my next topic of discussion. Let me pull over. That was odd. Take a look at the picture I took. This thing said it can't record on this SD card. It's the same SD card I've been using for years. Maybe it's time for a new SD card, John. All right. Man, I am so freaking pumped right now. It felt before like I had to ride this thing at my 9/10 just to get the comfort out of it. But now I can ride at my usual 3/10 and be comfortable. Ha ha! Yeah, baby. Look, I want to talk about perseverance for a minute because I like to add a little bit of mental health or life advice into my videos because I'm an ass like that. I think I know better than somebody else, which I don't. I'm just a jerk out on his Harley, doing his thing, having a good time. And I have not been having a good time. I have been obsessed over this damn thing for months. Absolutely months, just ups and downs and all this stuff. And I brought you on the December ride, that roller coaster bull. And I'm so upset at myself. And I just really was like, what do I have to do? How much money do I have to throw at this bike before it'll ride right? Now I've used up my month's allotment of bleeps again. But, there is a happy ending because there's at least one adjustment I can do to the suspension. And I did it, and it is making just worlds of difference. On my last ride, maybe this is what I wanted to get back to from earlier, but on my ride with Ironboard Rider, I felt pretty good on the bike. I had to corner harder to feel better, and the bike constantly felt like it wanted to change direction, which I mentioned earlier. It's such an unsettling feeling that the tenseness radiated into my throttle arm, and my right forearm was like, it was like I did arm day at the gym, and I don't go to the gym, all right? But it was like I did some bicep, tricep exercises all day long, and it just was like, why? Why am I tensing up? It's a motorbike. I've been riding these damn things for almost 15 years. I've got tens of thousands of miles under my belt. I shouldn't feel this way. Hell, I went so far as to look up 2024 street glides, but my wife reminded me that I'm on a continuing mission operation. Don't come home on a new bike. So no new bike in my future, but now I don't need one. This is awesome. Like, I've been down so many rabbit holes. It's absolutely bonkers. But the perseverance comes in here. I was not willing to give up on myself or my hobby because I just love motorcycling too much. I am a fair weather rider, give or take. Cold or wet, but not both. Generally, I like sunny days. Today is overcast. It'll just give me a little bit of colorist workout in DaVinci Resolve later to edit this stuff. Hey, there's something in the middle of the road. Go around it. Oh, yes. So I say a lot that the bike feels planted. And I realize that it's not hyperbole, but it's also not descriptive enough. And I've said it a lot. What I feel now is a connectedness with the road that I wasn't feeling before, where the amount of input I give it, this much right here, causes the bike to lean over, clip the apex, and straighten out. One-handed, zero tenseness, zero thought, just bing, bang, boom, done. That is, my friend, is a wonderful, wonderful thing. Something else I just realized, riding along with the tenseness in my arm probably meant that's why I was getting more and more nervous as I rode along. Even though the bike might have felt pretty good, it wasn't dialed in. Hey, that'd be a good title for this video, dialing it in. It's literally a dial that you spin. It's a very heavy dial. It's meant for big, muscular man hands like I got. Who's got 2 thumbs and muscular hands? This guy. Oh yeah, look at that. I can let go of the handlebars and not fear for my life. The bike's not gonna go like this. The wind really was something else. The wind used to feel like it was just blowing me all the F around. My goodness. I need more coffee. Coffee, 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 coffee. And I just did that one backwards. Yeah, look at that. See, this feels better, okay? I wasn't able to do that 3 or 4 times without it feeling squirrely. And now that feels really freaking solid. That's a good word, solid. Yes, it's a solid word. Moving on. When it comes down to it, I like my comfort zone. Should I make a right here? No, we're gonna go up further. I think we should take Hipsley Mill today.
And one last thing before I close out the video. This has really sapped my creativity. I have not really been able to sit at my desk and record videos. I've slowed down on my editing of videos, and I haven't been able to actually vlog comfortably enough to speak properly. And I'm kind of William Shatnering it right now. This is a vlog, people. Don't wear a red shirt. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I think I have my creativity back. So I actually came up with another vlog that I'm going to go record down Hipsley Mill Road, of course. And I'm gonna remind you, I can't see. These glasses tint, right? They're transitions, so I wanna see. There's the Street Glide. Oh, what a beautiful bike. I love this bike, and it's almost mine. It still belongs to my wife. There's a story there. I've told it before. So 2 mantras, because I have been living by them. 1, you have a 100% track record of making it through a bad day, and 2, do something nice for yourself every day. Maybe it's dialing in your motorcycle for you personally. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this video. I will ask you, go watch this video next. It'll be more entertaining. It's one of my older ones before I got all up in my own head, but now I'm not in my own head. I'm just loving it. I even put my feet up on the highway pegs. There's highway pegs back there somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. Don't care. I'm gonna end this video.